Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Do make sure that you are subscribed and also do like the video. So you remember, you guys, the story that we did a while ago when Tebogo Thobejane, yes, the BBL lady, the one that did the BBL before everybody did the BBL, that one. You remember the story when she was coming from a club one night with a friend and they were being driven home, and then a car was driving past the car that they were in, and then they were asked at, okay, it's like Easy Ink asked at their car. Listen, if you don't understand the language on this channel, hang around a little bit. You will understand the language eventually. But if you're not patient, okay, move on to other channels. If you're patient enough, just hang around. You'll have some fun. Trust me. So Easy Ink, asked at their car, and it was suspected that they were aiming at Tebogo Thobejane, but the person that was seriously injured was a friend. Apparently, that friend is still at the hospital to this day, facing possibilities of never being able to walk again because apparently she was injured in the spinal cord. Yes, so she had a spinal injury. That's why she's possibly never going to be able to walk again. But the walker was not that injured. She had some bruises, and but it was suspected that she was the one that was being targeted that night. She ended up moving to Dubai. Okay, I remember doing the story and being like, why would you announce that you are moving to Dubai after such an incident? Because she was saying that she was basically skipping the country because she was scared for her life. I'm like, if you are scared for your life, you don't announce that you are moving to, you just disappear. But she was like, no, I'm leaving South Africa, going to Dubai because I'm scared for my life in South Africa. I'm like, they are going to find you. Anyway, you guys, I'm getting off track here. So she had moved to Dubai, but apparently, allegedly, she had found life in Dubai to be so expensive that she was like, listen, I'm coming back to South Africa to risk my life in South Africa because life over there was just too expensive. But that was the people that were talking. She never said it. It was the people that were saying that life in Dubai was just so expensive for her, so she came back to South Africa. Now, you guys, okay, there were all, kinds of people that were suspected when it came to that incident, okay, because she wasn't the person that was short of enemies, okay, she had a few enemies, okay. Now, you guys, back to South Africa, okay. Now, they are saying there is this man that was suspected in this other M. Okay, so somebody had been murdered, you know, in another case. Okay, so the police are doing the investigations and they get to a point where they decide, you know what, in order to move forward with the investigations, we need to confiscate this man's phone, this businessman's phone, because they are suspecting that there is an ink that had committed this that had nothing to do with the Tebogo Thobejane. They're not even related, this and what had happened to Tebogo Thobejane. They decided they are going to confiscate this businessman's, phone because they are suspecting that he was the one that might have. I don't know this businessman. I don't even want to know him, because he's the type that if you know his name, your life might be in danger. That's the type of, So I was like, listen, I'm not even going to try and figure out who this man is, okay? It sounds like the type that if you know his name, your life is in danger. Automatically, if you know his name, you know his address, your life is in danger. So I don't want to know him. I have no interest to know who he is, okay? We are just talking about the Tebogo here, okay? Listen, my kids are at varsity right now. I have, there is interest in me living, okay? My creditors have interest in me being alive. So now, you guys, they take the phone to do the investigations. But over and above, whatever they find relating to the M that they were investigating, they find something relating to that incident that happened with Tebogo Thobejane and her friend. They are like, how? These WhatsApp messages relate to that incident. It sounded like this man was the one that had bought the Easy Ink that were going to commit the M, because it was supposed to be the M, the Tebogo Thobejane situation. It was supposed to be the M, and Tebogo was really the target. And there was something that was said about her, and the man was saying, listen, make sure that her family cannot recognize her in the messages. That's how the police found out that it is this businessman that was responsible, or allegedly responsible, for that incident with the Thobejane. So now they are saying there are possibilities that there might be some arrests, But Tebogo Thobejane is an impatient woman, because Tebogo Thobejane has even written to the NPA saying, listen, when are you arresting this man? Because I'm over here feeling unsafe, because when are you arresting the person that is responsible for this? Okay, I'm unsafe in this country. I'm just wondering what she had to do with such dangerous people. Okay, sometimes you guys, they're getting, I'm a BBL be expensive. Sometimes you have to have some associations with really dangerous people to be getting these procedures. Okay. Anyway, I'm not saying that it's because of the BBL. I'm just saying, okay. So it says here, by the way, this is written in the Sunday World. And me, okay, it's Ngwako Malaji with Mzilikazi wa Africa writing the story together, and Tando did not help at all. Tando is just reading the story on YouTube, okay. It says the Gauteng businessman suspected of being the mastermind behind the murder and the whistleblower. Remember, the whistleblower is the woman that the investigation was about. Babita Deokaran is being criminally investigated for organizing a hit on a television influencer, Tebogo Thobejane. The businessman, who is also criminally investigated for the corrupt tender at Prasa, cannot be named at this stage. Well-placed sources close to Thobejane's investigation allege that the Crime Intelligence Unit's members who were investigating the man's alleged involvement in looting Prasa obtained a seizure and search warrant against him. They then descended on his house in Pretoria and Joburg combed them for possible incriminating evidence. The police found and confiscated his cell phone, said the source. They downloaded the content of his phone and stumbled upon WhatsApp messages, which is the messages that I mentioned between the businessman and the two hitmen who were arrested by the police in connection with the attempt on Thobejane's life. It is alleged that on one of the messages, the businessman told the assassins to ass her in the face so that her family does not recognize her. Thobejane and her friend were ambushed on the N1 South highway near Sandton, Johannesburg, and their car was sprayed with a hail of bullets in October 2023. Thobejane, who acted in the Shivenda soap opera Mubango, escaped unharmed while her friend was arsed in the spinal cord. Thobejane has recuperated from the injuries, but her friend is still in the hospital facing the prospect of not being able to walk again. The Sunday World source said that the police also chanced upon the proof of payment by the businessman sent to the Izinkbi and to carry out the hits. I can't remember the amount, but the police found the proof of payment and said the source. Now, listen, you guys, if you're going to be the source, just write down the information, okay? The minute you look at those WhatsApp messages, when you see the amounts, just write them down. Now, this is for you guys, just in case you are a source sometime in the future. Just help us out here, okay? If you're going to call the Sunday World for a story, just write down the amounts because we need the amounts, okay? On April 13, Thobejane wrote a letter to the NPA headquarters, which we have seen, complaining about the prosecutor's procrastination in arresting the kingpin, saying that he is not incarcerated because he is minted. It has now been over 2 years since the incident that shook my world. Actually, I couldn't believe it, you guys. Time moves so fast. I couldn't believe that it's actually been it's been 2 years already because it happened in 2023. Though a number of perpetrators have been arrested, the main orchestrator, the person truly responsible, has not been brought to justice despite the information that has long been available, she stated in the letter. I am writing to you out of urgency, frustration, and pain. My son has fallen into depression. I am on the verge of bankruptcy. My name, my image, and my opportunities have been stained by the trauma inflicted upon me and the silence that followed. What is most alarming is the perception, whether true or not, that the power, wealth, and influence are standing in the way of justice. While I struggle to rebuild, and those responsible live freely, protected by what appears to be a systematic inaction. I ask you directly, are we waiting for me to die or before justice is served, she asked. Thobejane demanded the immediate arrest of or the prosecution of a businessman. Immediately after signing the letter, the NPA instructed its South African Gauteng head Andrew Chauke to take over the docket. He confirmed this week that he had received a letter from Thobejane and that the NPA boss, the advocate Shamila Tohi, asking him why the businessman has not been arrested. I have put together the small team to look into the matter, and I am expecting a full brief from them before the end of the month, Chauke said. Chauke promised that whoever is behind the delay will face the music. Okay, so that's the end of the article, you guys. Listen, at least that they know or they have an idea who might be responsible. But you guys, this case is moving so fast. If 3 years later, they know who the possible mastermind is, but they just haven't arrested him and there is no reason for it. I don't understand it, okay? But I ain't pushing nothing because I want to live, okay? But I can imagine being Tebogo Thobejane, I can imagine the fear. Like, what do you do with your life? Where do you go? Where do you live? Because I'll be afraid to do anything. I'll be afraid to go anywhere. I'll be afraid to leave my child at school. I understand her frustration and her impatience with the process because I would be afraid to do anything. And I wouldn't be able to work. You know, like, they should do what they're supposed to do. I'm not pushing for the man to be arrested, but at the same time, like, you know, I just want to live, you guys. I just want to live. You understand? But you understand why. Anyway, thank you so much, you guys, for watching this video. We will meet in the comment section. And whatever you are saying in the comment section, thank you for supporting the channel, you know. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegona. Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. By the way, it's the Sunday World that said it. It's not me. It's Handa Kakol.